Good evening, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to a very special episode tonight on 2022. This evening, we have for you a special inside look into the reasoning behind the brutal murder of Santiago Nassar. I have been accepted a very personal interview of one of the brothers who committed the murder, Pedro Vicario. Pedro agreed to share all of his reasoning behind his actions, and it may surprise you how much the culture of the town impacted his decision to get his revenge on Santiago Nassar. Hello, Pedro, and thank you for joining us tonight. Now, my first question for you is, who was the leader on this decision to kill Santiago Nassar?
It was all my original thinking. Right before the event, I spent 11 months on police patrol for military service, a common thing a man my age would have to go through. It was through those 11 months of ruthless army routine where I learned how to defend myself and my honor. Through these 11 months, I was practically brainwashed with the need to command and to be commanded. When I came back from my time, my character was strengthened. I was more inclined to perform quick and impulsive decisions. I was more of a man, I guess you could say.
Yes. I find it interesting how you say you were more of a man. What makes you use that term?
Before my military service, I was a lot more sentimental. While in my service, I learned that men aren't sentimental. Their actions are not influenced by feelings of others, but the expectations to protect the ones they love, no matter how ruthless the action. When I dug my knife into Santiago's flesh, I was not thinking about the family I was taking away from him or the people who would suffer by his death. I was only thinking of the humiliation I was literally killing for my sister, Angela. After all, it's a man's job to protect his family.
Yeah, so are you saying that family honor was a reason for your decision to kill Santiago Nassar?
I would say it is the main reason why I had done it. Family honor is very important for a Colombian family like mine, especially in a small town like the one I reside in. It's important to keep a good image because everybody knows everybody, and one wrongdoing can make you the talk of the town. My brother and I were actually praised by the murder we committed, as Pedro Pablo is only married today because his wife accepted his engagement only because he was responsible for killing Santiago. When I was called home by my mother to find out the devastating news of the loss of my sister's virginity, I knew it would affect the title of our family held in our town. Our whole family's reputation was affected by her action. My mother was pitied by other mothers for failing and raising her daughter to become a woman. My father was disappointed and disgusted by the irresponsible action of his daughter. And my brother and I burdened with the responsibility to repair our family's honor that she had destroyed.
Now, you mentioned that you were uninterested in your sister's love life earlier. You and your brother were said, and this is quoted, "It looked to us like women's problems." So how is it now that you are involved in your sister's love life and you are really involved by your reaction to your sister's loss of virginity? And why is it that you are suddenly involved when clearly you were not involved with her love life prior to?
My sister did that selfish action of losing her virginity to a man she was not married to. It became a problem with the families, which I talked about earlier. I have no interest in who my sister wed to and who she chooses to love, but when she threatened the honor of our family, it became my problem and my brother's. Being the oldest sons, we had to assert ourselves by protecting our family. I had no personal affliction with Santiago Nassar, but no matter who the man was, my outcome was that it would have been the same, because I did not care about who the man was or the reasoning behind the affair. Only my duty was to protect the honor and destroy anything that would threaten it. In this case, that was Santiago Nassar.
Oh, that's very interesting. Now, I also have another question. It has been said that you are a follower of God in the Catholic religion. Do you think that you have betrayed the church by committing the sin of murder?
I believe the church respects me for my actions. We did not keep our sin a secret. Whispers could be heard across the town of our anticipated actions because I was raised believing the only true sin is secrecy. As long as I was open and truthful about my wrongdoings, I'll be pure in the eyes of God. I was quite open about the murder, and I did my time in the county jail like a respectable citizen. So I believe I am forgiven in the eyes of God. I also know from growing up in a Catholic household that the sin of losing one's virginity before marriage can never be replenished. Once it's gone, it's gone. And since my sister let herself into the arms of a man she was not married to, she was classified as a sinner. The importance of virginity to women is severe and is a sin that must be redeemed in some manner. I knew the man who took my sister's innocence must go. I felt this way because I was raised in a very Catholic community that protects the virginity and chastity.
Do you believe that it was the lack of response from your community and your community's authority that also made you go through with these actions?
I was willing to go as far as I could without going against my human and Christian morals. For instance, I would not have killed another man if he got in the way of killing Santiago. I would have just stopped killing an innocent man, or I would have not disrespected anyone's request, like if the mayor asked me to stop or took a serious defense to save Santiago's life. I would have not continued in order to respect the request the mayor had, because it was his job to keep our community in order. The mayor did take away our original knife we were going to use, in which I thought our attempt to protect the family honor was completed, since I was going to keep my respect for everyone in the community, but Pablo thought differently. He was the one who insisted we move forward with our plan because he knew we had many more knives in our shed and didn't take the mayor's attempt to stop our crime too seriously.
Would you have continued with these plans to kill Santiago Nazar if Pablo had not insisted you carry through with your plans?
I thought I'd serve my duty to protect the family honor as soon as the mayor took away our original knife. I told myself I tried and told myself I was not going to break the rule of disobeying authority along with murder, and decided it was enough just trying. However, it wasn't until Santiago was long dead when I realized that him being dead was the only way to protect our honor. So honestly, I don't know if the murder would have been committed if Pablo wasn't present. Protecting the family honor was my main goal the minute I found out about the affair between Angela and Santiago. So I'm overall pleased with the outcome and can sleep peacefully knowing my family will not be humiliated by the actions of Santiago and Nazar.
Thank you, Pedro, for agreeing to this very personal interview and for allowing our audience to understand your actions behind the death of Santiago Nazar. That is the end of our inside look into the mind that led to the murder of Santiago Nazar. It is interesting how the way we are raised and the environment we are raised in affects our actions. By looking into the reasoning Pedro Vicario had towards the murder, it makes us question if people can really be held accountable for their actions, since we are all extremely affected by the society we live in. Thank you all again for watching this week's episode of 2022, and tune in next week when we look into yet another murder investigation involving yet another defense against honor. We will be interviewing a bridegroom who attempted to save his honor by attacking a man who ran off with his wife the night before their wedding. Thank you all and have a great night.